Members of UKIP's National Executive Committee have resigned in protest after the MEP Stephen Woolfe was excluded from the party's leadership contest. Mr Woolfe, the favourite to replace Nigel Farage, was 17 minutes late submitting his nomination papers. Well, let's get more on this from our political correspondent Tom Bateman, who's in Westminster, another party that looks in a bit of a mess at the moment.
Absolutely, Simon. I mean, it was the chosen means of UKIP to announce the leadership shortlist by email. It was sent out, much anticipated at midday today, but it was really the omission of one name rather than the six that were on it that has plunged the party into bitter feuding this afternoon, because what they said was that Stephen Woolfe, who is a key ally of Nigel Farage, seen by many as the kind of natural successor to him for the leadership, the decision was he could not stand because he had missed the nomination deadline by 17 minutes. He didn't get his nomination papers in on time online. He blamed the party's computer systems for that. But he is deeply disappointed, he says, by the decision that he is disqualified from this race. And in the last few minutes, he's been reacting to that decision. He was very clearly very annoyed about the fact that he cannot stand.
I think there is those who believe that I am not my own man, that because I have made changes to the NEC, decided to abolish the National Executive as one of my fundamental parts of my manifesto, only those can assume why the National Executive didn't use their opportunity to waver on this occasion, but I believe it to the members to make decisions in the future.
Well, it's led to a furious reaction, and as you were saying, in the immediate aftermath of that decision, 3 members of that ruling executive committee, 3 who didn't vote for his exclusion, announced they would be resigning, and they wrote a really excoriating letter about some of their colleagues on UKIP's executive committee, accusing them of escalating megalomania and cronyism in really what has become a tussle for the future direction of the party. But there are those, of course, that are backing this decision, pointing out the fact, well, look, he got his nomination papers in late. Here's somebody who wants to modernise the party, make it more professional. He couldn't even get his own nomination forms in on time. Well, we've been hearing from one of the leadership candidates who is on that shortlist, Jonathan Arnott, who's been defending that decision to exclude Mr Woolfe from the shortlist.
If they have come to this conclusion that Stephen Woolfe is somebody who should not be on the ballot paper due to late submission of papers, then provided that is correct, open and transparent, then they need to show that they've followed the rules, and if they've followed the rules, then nobody can really argue with that.
Well, one name on that shortlist as well that is notable is that of Diane James, an MEP, the deputy chair of the party. It wasn't clear whether or not she would run, but she is on the shortlist, and I think really now becomes the front runner. But amid all of this, the challenge really for all of those leadership contenders is the kind of existential question for UKIP, because for a party that has achieved its core aim of leaving the European Union, a vote to leave the European Union, what does it do next?
You're right, Tom Bateman there.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.